Being black and gay in the South is like walking through a thunderstorm and holding a lightning rod in your hand. Every step is brave, every step is defiant. Today, I want to talk about what it means to live out loud in a place that taught me and wants me to shrink. Let's talk about it.
Loving me unconditionally.
Hello, my freedom walkers, and welcome to day 25 of this 30-day challenge in loving me unconditionally. Today, we're going to talk about being black, gay, and bold in the South. Growing up, and living in the South as a black male, young black male, we have a bunch of cultural norms, religious intensity, and racial dynamics and expectations of what it means to be masculine, right? So there was a lot of hating or treating others poorly because they're not like you or your specific group, either your specific religious group, your specific racial group, or your specific just cultural beliefs in general. It's like a big giant high school, right? Where everybody is segregated in their own areas. Religious dogma, and I mean just all of these religious beliefs that stop you from being your true self, right? Just a bunch of that happening. Racial clashes. I grew up in the South right after, well, my mom's generation, remember the period of segregation, and only like three generations before that, my great, great, my grandmother's grandparents were slaves in the country parts of North Carolina. So you know that there is still a lot of racism, a lot of white privilege, a lot of good old boy stuff, even in the court systems and jails and in the community. And a lot of times we were just taught to just hush and be quiet so you make it through the day. You don't get killed, right? Especially if like a police officer pulls you over as a black male. Yeah, I had to talk the black man, young boy talk of how you should be in public. And how you should be when you go to grocery stores or regular stores, and how you should talk to older white people, and how you should just go with the flow so you don't get in trouble, right? Um, Definitely homophobia. Definitely a lot of homophobia. Um, a lot of faggot this, nasty this, abominations, you name it. We've all heard it all. And growing up around that was just the norm. It was just the norm in the 80s and 90s. Just the norm. It was just the way it was talked about from the pulpit in the church. Faggots said from the pulpit in church, downing people and making fun and poking at people and beating people up and bullying and just for expressing and being your true authentic self. A lot of that happening, right? The feeling of the obligation to the family and community as a black man, and how you should just be this one set way and no other way, and the expectations to live out this way, and that's how your life should be. And in order to fit in and to be accepted, you must have these belief systems. You must have these particular behaviors, or you're considered weird, or you're considered an outcast, or you not considered a real Negro or a real, you know. But it was real. It was real. You weren't considered. You were considered an Uncle Tom. Considered trying to be white if you're overeducated, if you talk too proper. Just all these different expectations and norms coming from a poor area, a black community, black white and Native American community. Um, but hiding being gay really kept me in a state of depression, a feeling of unworthiness, this fear of being rejected, being caught and being rejected, of bringing shame to your family and shame to your lineage and shame to the black community, shame to yourself. So you have that feeling of low self-worth because it's something you had to keep to yourself. You had to mask and be somebody else outside of when you are by yourself. And you also had the feelings of being tainted, and a lot of religion made you feel cursed, demon possessed, cursed, and most of all, although you're around other people, you feel lonely, feel extremely lonely. I remember even like I was like doing this fashion show or whatever was in the church, like, and I was like one of the male models, this leather jacket or whatever the case may be. And I remember the pastor was like, "You need to walk like this. This is how a man walks." And I was like, "Okay, am I walking like a girl? Like, what's going on here? You need to be a little bit more masculine when you walk." I was like, "Oh shoot, I need to work on my masculinity some more because I'm not fitting in, or I'm not good enough. I'm not like the rest of the men. I'm not a real man yet, and I need to toughen up some more. I need to walk more masculine. I don't know if I need to do the George Jefferson pimp or the pimp daddy walk, like with a little limp. What, I don't know. Why can't I just be myself?" Um, and and it was more even the case, like even like hit you in the chest, shit like that. Like, you better put some bass in your voice when you talk. They didn't have a man talks. I'm like, this is my voice. You need to have more bass in your voice. Like, who the fuck for? Like, so the toxic masculinity, the how many women are you sleeping with? Was it good? Just all of these different things, and competing over who has the best whatever and makes the most money, who has the next finest woofer system in your car, best house, and all these different things, as a man, and that gave you status, that you are successful because you had these things. Forget about the heart. Forget about how much you love yourself, how much you love others. It was all about like how much stuff can you get. And of course, there was a quadrillion billion scriptures to back it up. You know, even pastors in the pulpit talking about how big their house is, or how they have this luxury car and that luxury car and all these things that car does. And you got people in the audience who are dirt poor, who are taking the bus. you know, so those things. And but being bold, I wasn't bold then. I'm bold now, and it's not really to prove anything to anybody. It's not to make anybody feel uncomfortable. It's not to like, this is me now. It's not to taunt anybody. It's not to flaunt anything. It's just me just wanting to. If you can be bold, why can't I be bold? Right? Like, people believe, oh, you're gay or this. You should be like quiet. You should be like mellow. You should be like unheard and unseen, because this makes us feel uncomfortable, because you shouldn't be proud of who you are, because you shouldn't basically you should be ashamed of who you are. And you are meant, like they treat kids, you're meant not to be heard, only just to, and not to be seen, just to be quiet, right? No, boldness came from me being sick and tired of being sick and tired. And if you hear the cicadas in the background, I'm not going to filter it out. I love those bugs. They get on my nerves sometimes, but I'm in nature, right? So boldness came to me from being sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired. Man, you know you're tired when you take that R out. You say, I'm tired. That's country right there. My body, my mind, and my spirit just can't handle any more of trying to be someone else, to make someone else happy or comfortable. I just don't have that capacity to be like that anymore. I don't have that space. I don't have that energy. It is extremely fucking exhausting to be like that, to not be yourself. And you're walking around depression. You're walking around feeling unworthy. You're walking around feeling like you're not enough just so other people can feel like they're worthy. Just because other people can feel like that they're more than enough. And people feel like they're enough whenever they look down on other people. They're like, well, I don't have this, I don't have that, but boom, at least I'm not like them. At least I'm not gay. At least I'm going to heaven. At least I this. At least I that. And that's that judgment right there. When people don't look inward on their own problems and their own self cleansing and their own shadow work, and begin to justify who they are by saying, at least I'm better than this person, and don't even understand the true meaning or value of what Jesus Christ was really teaching. That's the humbleness and meekness part right there. The compassion, the empathy, the and I was listening to a podcast today, and it was like, if you really want to know the difference between darkness and light, just know that darkness always tries to separate and pit one group against the other. Light does not try to compete. Light does not try to overpower and overcome and take. Light is just light. Light wants everybody and everything to come together and work together and love in unison. But we have institutions in place that's done the opposite. And definitely in the South, um, where there's a history of discrimination. There's a history of separation, and people feeling that the only way that they can make it is to stay like that. Now it's greater than hiding from others. I realized that I was ashamed and hiding from me. That's something right there, man. It doesn't mean you're crazy either, but you're hiding from you. In other words, you have basically almost like two different personalities going on. You have your real authentic self, then you have this mask that you show to the rest of the world, which means that you're actually ashamed of who you really are, or you're scared, or you don't feel safe. You don't feel safe enough to be your true authentic self. And if you're in an environment, or if you're in a place where you don't feel safe to be authentic self, then that place is not your real home. I began to know that it's okay. I'm okay just the way I am. The way I am at my core, centered, my soul being, right? So my encouragement for you, if you're navigating through these similar environments in life, so my encouragement to you, if you are navigating through some of these similar environments in your life, here's some things that I would like to share just from my own experience. One of the things I want to say is that you should never have to change your authentic self just to fit in and be accepted. If you have to do that, just know that you're not with your true love tribe, and you need to find them. Even if it means you may have to disconnect or detach for a while. If you have to change who you are to be accepted, just know that that's not real unconditional love. And you need to find them. You need to find that tribe, man. Those who will be there for you and love you and accept you just as you are and help you and support you and make you better and push you towards your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, your passions, right? And not judge you because you want to live a free life and be yourself. That's not true love. If someone wants you to change because they don't like the way you are, right? Um, Here's a quote by it says James Baldwin and Andre Lord. I'm gonna read this. When you show up as your whole self in a world that taught you to divide yourself, that is revolution. That is revolution. I like it. I love it. I got to come back to that one day. I got a couple of questions for you, and I want you just to think. I want you to reflect, okay? In what ways have I shrunk to fit in? Begin to think about it. You can write it down if you want to. Think about all the ways that you've shrunk, changed your character, your personality, or hidden just to fit in. What does being bold look like for me today? In other words, if you want it to be bold, or if you are bold, what does it look like? What does being bold truly, truly, truly mean to you? And what are the actions that you would take in order to be that, right? Last one. How does it feel when I show up fully, even in places that feel unsafe or unfamiliar? How does that feel? It can be scary, but it can also at the same time be fulfilling. It can give you that confidence. It can let you know. It can actually ignite your passion or your love for yourself. So point to yourself, repeat after me, and say, I am bold. Yeah, say it like you mean it. Say, I am bold. I am worthy. I am free. Let's say another one. My truth is not a burden. It's a birthright. I honor my story, my identity, and my roots. Last one. Even here in the South, or wherever you are, I'm in the South. Okay. I rise, I love, I belong. And that I belong kind of hits home a little bit because I've been told for so long that your existence doesn't matter. That because you're gay, that because you're bi, because you're trans, because you're pansexual, because um, you're lesbian, whatever the case may be, that just being queer, you don't belong. And people will quote and they will throw scriptures at you and they will dog you out. They'll make you feel insignificant. They'll make you feel like you're not enough, even your own family. I know there's even those of you who have maybe been kicked out from your family, ostracized, but you're not alone. There are plenty more is going through the same thing. But what I want to tell you is that you're worthy of love. You're worthy of success. You're worthy to be whole. You're worthy of healing. You're worthy of happiness. You're worthy of joy and peace in your life. Don't let anybody else tell you anything differently. I'm trying to tell you. You've got this. Hold your head up. Stay strong. Be the beautiful woman, man, or binary person that you are. This is J Love and Loving Me Unconditionally. Day 25, baby. Like, subscribe. Let's take this journey of life together. I'm not going anywhere. There's plenty more for me to say. And you know what I'm going to say now? I love you. Yeah, you. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Have a wonderful and beautiful day. Goodbye.
Loving me unconditionally. Loving me unconditionally. Through the fire, through the storm, I found the truth inside of me. Loving me unconditionally. Loving me unconditionally. No more shame, no more fear. I'm exactly who I'm meant to be.